Well, thank you. Mr. Rigdon, I want to go back to success models. I mean, because we're burning our wheels over and over again, and there's something that the tribes emulate that I think we need to get back to. Do you have any less respect for the environment than any of the environmental groups?
Actually, I think the tribes live on the land that we manage, and so I think we have more vested interest in what's going on our lands. And inside of that, we take a lot better time evaluating and doing management practices that we do.
So you have a real stewardship. It's always been part of your culture, right?
Yes.
So let's go back, and in your testimony, you talked about the Yakima's success in regards to the bugworm infestation. How were you successful?
The first thing that happened is the resources that we came together, our tribal council declared a state of emergency. We were watching our forests all fall apart. It was dying right before our eyes. And our leadership then gave direction to the Bureau of Indian Affairs and to the Natural Resource Department at our agency to tackle this problem, to bring back a solution that reduces the loss that we were seeing from our forests due to those things. With that direction, we streamlined and fast-tracked through the National Environmental Protection Act. We met with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service on spotted owls and ESA consultation, and that was the thing. It was the priority of the tribe and our leadership taking the steps to make sure that we were centered and moving forward with these things. Our natural resource departments came together and we evaluated and took on the challenge to make sure that we did the forest management that was necessary, but we also respected those resources that we have values for across our land also.
But I mean, I want to highlight, because I have got a bill sitting here, and you said the magic words along my lines, is emergency declaration, going through the proper management. But you're missing a piece here, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the litigation aspect from environmental groups. They don't have the same standing in tribal lands, if I'm not mistaken, as they do in the rest of the world, do they?
No, they don't. Environmental groups, they have to have standing to appeal a decision within the reservation. And so, in most likely instances, it would have to be a tribal member within our community. And then there's certain aspects of that lie out with them. They would have to fund a certain aspect to cover the timber sales that would be lost if they appealed those decisions. And those kind of things.
And I want to we're coming full circle here. I mean, you know, I had the Wallow Fire in my district in 2011, the largest fire, and you're aware of what the White Mountain Apache had done through the Rodeo Chetiskar, the thinning process.
I've been there several times, actually, and I've seen the activities there. They do a great job.
So why did the fire stop when it started coming into tribal land?
Well, I think the active management, the reduction of fuel loads, the reduction of forest canopy, that the fire dropped to the ground, and you had fires that were there historically that were driven by our Indian people, by the Apache people that probably, you know, before we managed the land. I think you see that all across Indian country, if it's the Salish Kootenai up in Montana to what we do on our reservation.
It's a model that works, right?
Yes.
A model that works. Imagine that. A model that works. You know, let me ask you a question, Mr. Hubbard and Mr. Douglas. If we took equal access to funding, equal access to justice funding, and instead of giving it to claimants, put it through mitigation of our forests, that would give you some access to some dollars, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm kind of aware that it's somewhere in about $1 billion per year. I mean, Justice Department won't give us those numbers, but wouldn't that be interesting that if we actually put it to use other than constant litigation, actually put skin in the game?
It would make a difference, I believe.
Thank you. You know, the next person I want to talk to is Chris. Chris, I want to tell you thank you very, very much for trying to come back to common solutions that Phil brought forward. There's a lot of things we could be doing, is there not, in regards to these collaborative management processes. One of the things I want to throw out is that one of the successes in energy are these PMAs, in which we have these power management authorizations. What if we were to create some of these forest management authorities that goes back to local authority, that works with joint ventures, that actually puts these collaborative aspects, mitigation from federal funding, but also some of these timber sales? Imagine that we're actually, you know, working collaboratively. Would that be something of very interest to you?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think things like that are very much of interest. I think it's very important for this committee and the leadership here to also reach out to a whole bunch of other sectors of society and the economy with respect to tourism, with respect to water, utilities. There's a whole lot of folks that need to be brought into this who are heavily impacted by these issues, and so I think there's a lot of ways forward on those kind of fronts.
Thank you, Jim, for your insights. Thank you.